Auzubillahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. This is CTY Model College, Adeoyo Ring Road, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Welcome, my dear JS2 Home Economics students, to their Week 8 Lesson 1, presented to you by Mrs. Kehinde Aisha Eniola. Topic: Factors influencing child development. Factors influencing child development. In our previous lesson in week 7, remember this is week 8 lesson 1. In our week 7 lesson 1 and 2, we attempt to explain the meaning of child development, the meaning of growth and development, the stages of child development, and the principles of what? Child development. In our today's lesson, inshallah, I'll be considering the factors influencing child development. What are those factors that can influence the development of a child? 1. Heredity. Heredity is the combination of the physical, mental, and emotional characteristics which a child obtains from his parents right from conception, which gives the explanation, the reason why every child resembles the parent. This has to do with what? The gene, that is the chromosome, the 23 chromosome of a child, the father and the mother, which makes 46 to a child. That is to tell you that a child will either resemble the father or the mother, or has both traits of both parents. This has heredity had to explain the combination of all the characteristics of what? Both parents from conception. You tend to look at this is a child of Mr. and Mrs. so and so person, because you are seeing the what? The traits in them. The next one that can affect that can influence the child development is the environment. These include all conditions, circumstances, and influences which surround and affect the development of the child. The child's environmental conditions starts from the home to school to society, which helps the child to develop into person. It also gives him the opportunity to grow and enable him to develop the inherited characteristics to the fullest. Okay? This has to do with environment, has to do with where the child stays, where the child resides, where the child comes out from, which may or mar the what? The child. The third, but not the least, on the factors that influencing child development is the climate, that is the weather condition. The physical climate has a significance on the physical development of the what? Child. Having said that, what are the conditions necessary for child development? The following are conditions necessary for child development. 1. Good nutrition. The child should be given the recommended daily nutritional intake in order to develop, grow well, and look beautiful. When you give your child good food, they tend to what? To grow well. The recommended daily allowance has to do with giving them all the 6 classes of food in the right and normal and control quantity. You should give them, you shouldn't feed them with much of carbohydrate. And the 6 classes of food has to do with the carbohydrate, protein, fat and oil, minerals or vitamin, and water. We had talked about all these in our previous lessons, if you remember, my dear students. So we are telling you that the condition necessary for child development, the first one is what? Good food, that is good nutrition. It makes you develop well. It makes them develop, grow well, and look what? Beautiful. The second is good medical care. When a child is sick, he or she should be given good medical care. Immunization and other necessary medical treatment should be given for the child to retain health and develop physically. When you give your child good medical care, they tend to what? To be healthy. It keeps them fit and what? Physically healthy and fit. Good medical care is very important for a child, because a child that is not given a good medical care may result to what? Different diseases, and at the end of the day, death. Immunization is also very important in what? This aspect. I'm very sure when the time comes, we're still going to treat this topic, immunization, but that's that for now. The third one is good environment. You should be able to what? Give your children good environment. Provide good environment. That is, this includes all the conditions and circumstances that makes the child develop happily and joyfully. A child's environment should be what? Conducive, friendly as much as what? Possible for the child to grow well and be happy and what? Joyful. The fourth is good school. When a child has reached school age, he or she should be enrolled in a school that provides an environment that stimulates the physical, mental, emotional, psychological, and social ability of that child. You should be able to explore that child to the fullest. You don't just keep a child in a particular environment where is not conducive for what learning. As much as a child has reached school age, we have preschool age and we have normal school ages. A child should be what enrolled in a very lovely school such that the child physical, mental, emotional, psychological and social ability will be what fully developed. Inshallah, in our next class we'll be considering some of the other conditions necessary for child development, but let's quickly run through some of the ones we had highlighted in our class today. One, we said good nutrition, good medical care, good environment and good school. Inshallah, we listen to ourselves in our next class. I remain Mrs. Kehinde Aisha of CTY Model College, Adeoyo Ring Road, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. I say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.